Your audience wants to see more of you. They want to see your logo personified, see behind the curtain, see who actually makes up the company, not just another machine that's spitting out content like a machine.
I'm a pretty lucky dad right here.
One of the main surprises to me is how in-depth you guys wanted to go to build the website based off of who we are. So I was extremely impressed with that.
Your audience wants to see more of you. They want to see your logo personified, see behind the curtain, see who actually makes up the company, not just another machine that's spitting out content like a machine.
I'm a pretty lucky dad right here.
One of the main surprises to me is how in-depth you guys wanted to go to build the website based off of who we are. So I was extremely impressed with that.
Saddling up after round 2 at Road America, the Precision Racing League rides into Elroy, Texas, bringing a new sheriff to town. Wearing the tin star is Christian Ice, quickest to the draw in both races so far this season. But former Sheriff Benjamin Perez wants his old job back. It's high noon at the COTA Corral. From the Circuit of the Americas, it's the American iRacing Tuesday Series Round 3, presented by Studio Road. Giddy up and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel and Countdown to Green. From Green Flag to Victory Donuts, GSRC will bring you all the GTE, Ferrari, and Ford on-track action live as it happens. But first, as cyberspace flows into your place over these next 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, we'll give you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the simulated racing that will immediately follow as we count down to green for the American iRacing Tuesday Series Round 3, presented by Studio Road. And here to do all of that is Soup and Crackers, yours truly, Bill Soup Zahn, joined way up in the ostentatiously decorated GSRC broadcast booth by my countless-time partner, Sean Crackers Amwars. Toiling down in the dimly lit production van is the hardest-working man in sim race broadcasting, our director, Joe Peak, armed with cameras provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. The sun is tall in a wide Texas sky that pushes down on the Circuit of the Americas. And here to tell us about this afternoon's racetrack is a man who just relocated back to the Lone Star State, my booth mate, Sean Crackers Ambrose.
Yeah! Welcome here to the Austin City Limits, Central Texas. Circuit of the Americas was the first United States road course that was purpose-built for Formula One. They opened this joint back in 2012, and this track clocks in at 5.5 kilometers. That's 3.4 miles, folks, with 16 turns, and at its height has 133 feet of elevation up to the top of turn 1. This place was designed to replicate parts of several tracks, including Silverstone. You'll see that Beckett's Chapel sequence. It's familiar here, and to encourage drivers to follow multiple racing lines, the track was deliberately laid out with wide corners. The S's in turns 6 through 9 will be especially tricky. Soup is off track, and time penalties abound through the sector there. But the long backstretch will provide a number of great passing opportunities. The best way to get an idea what this place is really like is to jump on board our BMW today, because, well, Joe got in the Ferrari, he binned it, and then Amjad got in the Ford GT, and he binned it. So,
oh no.
We had to get the BMW off the trailer and get it on the track, so let's check it out.
Alright, Kevin Brown is behind the wheel of the GSRC BMW, so let's do a lap around Circuit of the Americas. Turn 1 is known for this incredible uphill braking zone. Really, you can't see that sharp little apex curve until you've already started turning in, so picking all your markers is critical. Then we head back downhill into 2, which will be flat out. This leads us into the start of the S's. This series of corners makes all other road course S sections look like a quick trip down the block. Back and forth, 7 separate corners, and really you could claim 8 since this one has 2 apexes. In the end, it all comes back uphill to turn 9, where you want to hug the right as much as you can, and once you've got the angle, put your foot down and power over the top. 10's a quick left flick that you've got to hit just right, or else you're flying wide or losing time. Plus, the hairpin of 11 is a good place to sneak a pass in. But if it was me, I'd be more concerned about getting a nice wide entry and getting on the gas for the backstretch. This straightaway is going to give you a long time to think about what you've just done. If you nailed it, you can smile and take a breather. If you botched it, keep an eye on the mirror and decide if it's worth defending, because that trailing car is going to be all over you like Kevin on a piece of Gators memorabilia. 12 is really your best place to get by somebody. Sharp corner and a heavy braking zone at the end of a long stretch. Doesn't get much more tilt design than that. From here, it's all fiddly hairpins and technical corners. Cars are going to be line astern unless someone makes a mistake, which is actually terribly easy. Going wide or the rear coming around from entering too hot are both common sights. And then here with 16, 17, and 18, it just never feels like you hit the corner in the best way. They've marked it as 3 separate ones, but it's just a big, long arc. Regardless, you gotta get the car to the right because 19 drops off something fierce, and even drivers at the highest skill level tend to push wide. From there, the final corner is another slow one that requires the slow in, fast out mantra. If you can out-drag your competitor, it sets you up well for a pass into one. But that's how you complete a lap around Circuit of the Americas.
Joe Peak doing what he does so well, talking the viewer around a lap, this time here at COTA. And remember, that lap, as well as everything on today's broadcast, is made possible thanks to Studio Road. They discover, design, and build digital experiences to help automotive brands. For more information, please visit them at studioroad.com. And remember, road is spelled R-H-O-A-D. And now let's take a lap around the standings after 2 races. He might be from Chile, but he's been hot. Christian Garreton Eisler is 2 for 2 this season for SDS Racing Blue. Reigning and defending champion Benjamin Perez has been a bridesmaid twice. SDS Racing's Black, Juan Landini, has a 3rd and a 5th. Welcome to the overlay, James LeBlanc and Danny Deshays, both up several spots to be tied for 4th. Now, the Quebec-powered Racing Deshays is the driver, one of the few drivers in a blue oval out there in a Ford in a stampede of prancing horses. Let's go ahead to the team championship now, where we'll see what Deshays has done there. He came home, Deshays came home 7th in from Road America. Guillaume Dupont's 10th, and that was enough to move Quebec Power Racing up into the lead. Sebastian Maciera was a no-show for round 2, so despite Juan Landini's 5th, SDS Black drops to 2nd, tied with the cousin blue team powered by a solo effort from our points leader, Christian Eisler. WERA BBS Racing moves up into 4th. Gary Schilling and Richie Pettinger are quality drivers for sure, but they might want to consider consulting with a marketing company in hopes of finding a more catchy team name. I'm not a big fan of WERA BBS. Maybe they can let me know what that actually stands for. Apex Button Box RT, that's the racing team powered by Eric Luke and Sean Kenning, fall to 5th. So, Crackers, we've talked about the track, gone over the points. How about we look at the race details?
Soup, this is their 12th season, buddy, and this is round 3 of 10 here today. The Ferrari 488 GTE is one of the cars available to them, and well, we've got the Ford GT, the 2017 model, and well, we've only got a couple of them in the field, Soup, so it'll be a Ferrari race pretty much. The race distance 45 minutes. They're going to need a stop. Now, that Ford GT has only got 50% fuel in the tank, and so these cars, again, are going to need a stop here today, and that will be critical when they do it. We'll maybe see that somewhere about halfway in. Some may take that early strategy, Soup. We'll see. Incident cap is at 30. Listen, folks, COTA is an easy place to pick up off track. So you're going to have to watch that over these 45 minutes. If you're digging hard, you're going to have to be really, really careful around here to not hit one of those off tracks, pick up a point or two there. Fast repairs, Soup, they get one spare car off the truck to get in and get back out there with a chance to maximize their point potential here today at Circuit of the Americas.
And fast repairs always take on a different connotation when there is a pit stop to be made. If you can time your mistake or that need for a fast repair somewhere around your pit window, it doesn't hurt you so much. Sean, how's it feel here today in Austin?
So it's a beautiful day. It's 65 degrees and clear. It's under 100 degrees on track, which if you can get that type of condition, it'll probably heat up to around 100 degrees before they get done with this race. But right now, I just love the way it feels out there. Now, the wind, a bit of a factor. Blowing out of the northeast, you're going to get to the top of that hill, and you hit your braking zone there. Don't be surprised if you get a gust of wind that maybe get you a little bit offline. It could be a factor if it gets the gusting up there up top.
Qualifying going on right now. This is a unique qualifying format. It is open qualifying, so everybody out there on the track, they need to share. Right now, we're looking at Benjamin Perez. He sits at the top. He put in a 2-minute flat, .646. That's about 3/100ths of a second faster than his big rival, Christian Eisler. 2-minute flat, .696. There's Eisler right there. 22 drivers have been able to put in qualifying times so far. We have 5 names that have not been able to put in a time. Looking at Juan Landini and now Sean Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny doesn't have a time yet. Still trying to get one there.
He's working through one of the tougher sections there, through 17. Now, these final 2 corners, this is a kind of sweeping left-hander, and then this real sharp left-hander here, 20, that sets up the drive to the start-finish line, which is pretty quick after they come out of here. Not a lot of time to make up ground before, and there's the start-finish line right there. Kenning does able to put in a time. He moves up into 19th. You heard me talk about the leaders putting in 2-minute flat times. Kenny, a 2:05.567, so he's about 5 seconds slower than our pole sitter. Sean, one of the rules of racing is if you are the race sponsor, which Chris Rhodes is here, as Studio Road is sponsoring this and the next race, you want to get in a good qualifying time. So far, Chris hasn't been able to do that. We're looking at him right now, working through this windy section.
It's been a collection of missed opportunities for him here, Soup. He's got to get one in here. He's got enough time to do it. Let's see how well he gets here through the last section of this track. Coming through the carousel. Now the stadium section of the course. It's a heck of an amphitheater there on the other side, Soup.
You've seen some concerts from there?
I certainly have. Saw the late great Tom Petty there once. I've also seen Iron Maiden there and Megadeth. Yes.
Here comes Chris Rhodes. What he'd like to see right now is a time, and he gets one. He's going to move up into 21st. He gets ahead of Kelly Thornton, Ronald McManus, and Matthew Krishna.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be it for Chris. He spins it at the top of the hill. But listen, Chris was under pressure there to get a lap in and get, a good qualifying time down. And, well, he did it when he needed to, and that earned him 21st right now. Just over a minute left here in quali.
We're looking at one of the 3 drivers that have still yet to put in a time. That is Lucio Vargas. Sean, fortunately, when I'm doing this commentator, I have 3 screens.
Yeah.
Which helps with driving as well. Here, this is a hard place if you're a single screener.
Yeah, the sight lines can be a little bit difficult, Soup, if you're just on a single monitor here. You need a little bit of peripheral to certainly help out. And Vargas comes across. He does not get a time in there. He's going to give it one more go, but he's going to be out of time here.
He is definitely going to be hard-pressed to get that in. Most of our big names were able to get in their qualifying time. Let me take this opportunity before we go to grid to credit some of the many sponsors, again, that make this possible. One of them is our series sponsor, Apex Button Boxes. The winner of the series will get this, a free 16-function button box courtesy of Apex Button Boxes. Visit them at facebook.com/Apex Button Box. How about that? Also, this company.
I'm interested.
Yeah, Transdo Transport, supporting the Transdo Cup. The driver with the fewest incidents at the end of the season will get $75. Visit Transdo at, transdo.ca/home. And then, of course, Studio Road that we talked about, a great company. Boy, they put on a great commercial to open the show. Very impressive.
Gabato going to miss out on an opportunity there, Soup, to get a time in.
It's going to be... Cisna finally did get in time. He's sitting 24th. Let's see if he can better it a little bit. Actually, he put in a 2:18. That one really didn't count. It's going to be hard not to better this one. Unless, of course, he had an off track, which I guess he did. Did not get in a clean lap, so he'll be starting back in the double dozen position. Landini trying to better his third place, but he spins it off.
Benjamin Perez is still out there. He is now at the amphitheater here.
That's still the same time that he posted earlier, that 2-minute flat, 0.646. Working his way now up into the... and that one's not going to do it.
He teased us.
And that should just about do it for everybody. The checker flag is out. They still have a little bit of time running down to get their qualifying times in, but I think everybody is pretty much done. So even though we have a rolling start, why don't we take this opportunity to work our way through the grid? Sean, we could take it a roll at a time since we got plenty of time to do it. Sitting on the front row, well, it's been the two guys that are leading in the points. It is Christian Garreton Eisler outside of row 1. He's our point leader. Benjamin Perez on the pole. Sean?
Yes, sir, Soup, and it's going to be Juan Manuel Landini qualifying third this evening, and Sergio Majo will start fourth.
Alvaro Rabanal in the 5th position, flanked by Francisco Montini.
Okay, and then it's Kenny Duval, and right next to Kenny Duval, Guillaume Dupont.
Matthew Frawley and Eric Luke make up row 5.
Okay, row 6 going to be James LeBlanc and Moises Lobato.
Sean Carini in the Baker's Dozen spot, Tyler Gore flanking him.
Okay, and go back to 15th. It's Mark File in the 777 and Richard Colomb representing Canada this evening.
Richie Pettinger in the 17th position and Danny Duchesne in the 18th spot.
All right, and then Sean Kenning in the number 34. He's going to start 19th, and 20th, well, that's going to be Gary Schilling.
Hidden Blackjack, it is our race sponsor, Chris Rose, inside of Kelly Thornton.
All right, Soup, and then we've got Chris Rode and Kelly Thornton, and then Ronald McManus and Matthew Cisna with that 24th qualifying effort there.
Then the final two drivers that were not able to put in times, Lucio Vargas and Hugo Galles in 25th and 26th. One more, Carlos Gabato in 27th. 27 names on the entry list, 24 drivers able to put in qualifying times. Drivers are lining up. Now they're lining up on the grid. I'm fairly confident that this is a rolling start, if I remember correctly. So I guess we're going to get a full lap. Oh, they're on the backstretch. Here we go. They're lining up on the backstretch. So let's go through the technical section here. Through 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You get an idea of this left-right combination going through here.
It's a bit of a mess. I can tell you that turn 12 is my brother's favorite.
Why is that?
Let's just say he rested a Mustang against the fence there. But anyway,
in the real world racing, yep, that was a
yeah. Actually, by the way, those Armco barriers are expensive. They're about $3,200, Soup.
And he knows this firsthand, doesn't he?
Yes, they do send you a bill.
Well, nevertheless, it did help him a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at our race analysis now so you can get an idea of actually the details of the race today. Do we have a race? No, I don't believe we do. Maybe we do not have a race analysis. Nope, I'm sorry. We do so many series here, I forget what graphics we actually need to put up. So we're just going to go through here, the back half of the track. Waiting for everyone to take their spot.
Sounds like Simon and Poindexter were getting in a late winter vacation, Soup, and maybe
yes,
a couple of the graphics.
Yes, no. There is no race analysis for this one. That was my fault. We have 15 series that we cover here on the Global SimRacing Channel, and sometimes the commentator has a senior moment, or a soon-to-be senior moment. Now they start rolling. Let's focus our attention on what really matters, what's going on in the front row. Benjamin Perez, he won just about everything he raced in last season. He was so dominant, but coming out for season 12, it has been Christian Eisler. It has been eventful up front, as there has been no shortage of mistakes here in season 12 from the front runners. So don't go away. If you think someone's running away with this race, don't be surprised. Look at our pole sitter, Benjamin Eisler on the gas, off the gas, on the gas, off the gas. Getting those tires warmed up, seeing how much traction he's going to have. Let me correct myself. That's Perez who is actually on the gas and off the gas, our pole sitter. Eisler very confident with his tires right now, just keeping in line. Sean, as they come out of 19, 2 more corners. Where's our passing zone? Down into 1 probably, and probably then out of 11, between 11 and 12, right?
They're gonna be 5 and 6 wide getting up to turn 1. There's a lot of ways to skin that cat when you get up to the top of the hill. Look for a fierce battle to get position coming down the hill. Here we go, Sue.
All right, Perez out in front. Eisler laying back a little bit, now taking a spot. Waiting. Perez holding them. Yeah, they're at the chickens. They come in the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And one car that has a great jump out of the barn is Sergio Maujo. Maujo making the move on the outside. Can he get it done? There's some banging going into one like Sean thought.
Some.
The big loser was Francisco Montini. He falls from 6th position all the way back to 14th and dropping like a pigeon.
He really is. Montini really off pace here. Oh, and he just hopped over one of the big sausage curbs. Trouble behind Montini. Got a couple cars off. Gary Schilling, and I think that was Kelly Thornton. A couple more cars are up. Matthew Cisna is off.
First lap attrition. Maybe we'll just watch the first lap. Yeah, Montini was caught in another one with Cisna that Sean just saw. Meanwhile, up front, it is Benjamin Perez running away from the guy that had the drum, Sergio Maujo. Maujo really got a good jump off of the start line, got around Eisler, and then Montini ran into trouble. Running in 4th is Alvaro Rabinal. Kenny Duval in 5th, and look at this, a battle for 6th. Let's look at this McDonald's car. That's DuPont making a move. DuPont's going to get around. Landini is struggling.
Ooh, close the door on Landini.
That's Frawley in the 11, back there. Carini has had some issues. There's bumping and banging. Carini bangs into the side of Rode. My gosh, Rode all the way up to 10th.
Yeah, and Carini goes on by after that. Now Rode trying to keep Eric Luke from getting that spot back.
Man, oh man, there has been a lot of contact. You're looking at Rode right now. What a nice run from him, though.
The man from Indiana across the start-finish line first here on this first lap. Benjamin Perez seems to have it figured out early.
Does. Rode up 11 positions from his start. Remember, he could not get in that good qualifying time. As we look now as Maujo being chased by Eisler.
Yeah, and Rode just picks up another position. Let's look at the replay from the opening lap here, Sue.
Yeah, I think what we'll want to do is look if we can get on Montini. Might be an interesting one as we look here. There's some of the replays we've seen. That's Cisna and Montini getting together. That was after Montini had had incidents.
Yeah, and then Montini has a second incident, which I think causes the damage that brought him in the pit. But he had a tow, and he's waiting on that tow right now. He's going to get the fast repair suit, but he's still trying to ride out this tow, which is a couple of minutes at least.
Yeah, Montini qualified in 4th, but things went south.
Oh, just got plowed right there.
Correct myself, he qualified in 6th, but yeah, it was not good. What do you got?
DuPont's got a problem. As Carini coming up on him here quick, coming down to the long bat straight. DuPont off to the left. Staying out of the way here. I think he's got some damage on that car. Looks like maybe on the left front. Possibly some suspension damage suit.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars picking up
just
damage.
Right next to him there, look at that Mark Bile and Danny Duchesne suit right there in the middle of the turn in the apex.
Yep. Making his way around the very outside was Tyler Gore. We'll look at this one, and then maybe if we have time, we'll take one shot at it from on board with Gore, as he was the guy who went around wide. Here's a look at the dive bomb down in there. He's got pretty good position. And then there's just on track exit they get together. And then it continues on to the next corner. And there you see, we don't need to go on board. You can see Gore make that move to the left.
Yeah.
Great job.
Boy, what a mess.
Boy, I'll say.
Oh, and at the top of the hill, more trouble. It was Lobato gets, I don't want to say taken out, but he gets crushed, man.
Well, he took that inside line, and that's Pittenger has to turn in somewhere. If I'm not able, we have so many replays. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this one either, but
Pittenger didn't see him. Right. Pittenger had no idea he was there.
Roboto took the tightest line possible. Pittenger was all the way out to the outside. Pittenger just turned in and then got basically T-boned. Oh, this has been messy.
Yeah, it has been, Super. These guys are digging hard here early. Soup, we've only just completed 5 minutes of this race.
I'm blaming you, Crackers. I didn't have this trouble when I was working with sandwiches. It was nice and clean when Samuel Ryman was my partner. Let's catch our breath. The drivers will let us, and we'll run down at least the top 5. Perez, 2.3 seconds ahead of Sergio Maujo. Now, Maujo, it's been pressured the whole time from Eisler. Eisler was a little faster in qualifying, but he's racing back there in 3rd. Then there's a big gap back, and we have a nice little battle for 4th. This is Duval, Robinal, and Landini. Fast repair is a must here today.
Well, DuPont and, let's see, Montini and DuPont have definitely taken theirs. That cost Montini 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Soup. It's going to be a tough recovery from there.
Benjamin Perez sets the fastest lap, Sean, doing what he does.
He's on rails right now, Soup. I mean, he's really just a little bit more every lap here. Just behind him, Maujo and Eisler continue to slug it out, but they just can't make any ground here on Perez, who sets that fastest lap of the race, and it's charging on forward. He's in the saddle and he's riding her hard, man.
Talking about charging, let's go back to 9th position. When your company sponsors the race and you are the hard charger, we give you a little love. Chris Rhodes racing all by himself in 9th. He's got about 2.5 seconds to get up to Sean Carini. And he's got about 2.5 seconds back to Richie Pettinger. Oh, Eric Luke, all by himself. He was trying to run down James LeBlanc. And then the car takes a really weird... That's a strange spin. Watch this one.
Yeah.
Just kind of...
Yeah,
it's under braking coming in, I guess. That's what it was, huh?
Yeah, it was, Soup. And, you know, he's got some damage on the car on the right rear. I wonder if that's maybe contributing to the way it's handling. But he does not seem to be up to speed right now. Luke has fallen 10 spots through this field.
Remember, these drivers not only racing for themselves, racing for their teams as well.
It's Gary Schilling who's had his own bit of trouble just in front of Luke. Schilling also working with some damage on the front of his Ferrari.
Speaking of Ferraris, looks like the top 10 are all Ferraris. Not sure when our first Ford shows up.
Oh boy. Luke almost overdrives that.
Looking at Luke as he continues to have his issues.
This is where those off-track Soup are going to really start to rack up. Guys overdriving the turns, getting it all the way out there to the right. You get 4 tires on the other side of that candy stripe there, and you're picking up an incident point for off-track.
Looking at Danny Duchesne, who just made a pass on Tyler Gore. Duchesne is our top Ford, racing in 15th. Trying to make up for some early incidents. 25 cars still on the lead lap. Francisco Montini, the last one, in 25th. Actually, he's 1 lap down now.
Soup, I'm watching the battle for 10th right now. James LeBlond all over Richie Pittenger. This is a good one. Yeah, and just in front of them is Chris Rode, who we were talking about a minute ago. But, boy, I'll tell you what, LeBlond was right up on the wing there of Pittenger. Thought he was going to try and take that position away. Not yet. Getting to the long back stretch here. Going to get through the hairpin. Now it's time to open it up and go sailing.
Rhodes is the cork in the bottle. He was only about 2.5 seconds behind Carini last time we checked in. Now that's 4.5 seconds. He was about 2.5 seconds ahead of Pittenger. Well, now that's almost nothing. So the guys back there in 10th and 11th are coming on Chris Rhodes. Rhodes, our hard charger, was able to vulture his way up to the top. Trouble on track, I believe. Who could this be? A spin from Danny Duchesne. Back in 15th in the Porsche. I'm sorry, in the Ford. The Porsche is here today.
Soup, great battle between Rabinal and who we got? Is it Rabinal and Landini? I'm sorry, I lost that for a second, but Landini going to get by Rabinal there.
Sorry to jump you all around so much. Usually we like not to be quite so much like an MTV video, but the action is so hectic here. That battle for 4th that you're looking at, there's Rabinal at the back of that line, racing in 6th. Ahead of him, Landini and Duval. Duval up in 4th, up 3 spots from the 7th position he started.
I don't think there's been a lack of interest or excitement at this point, Soup. Lots going on here.
Riding off of the back of the 5th place car, Landini, looking back at Rabinal. We're not going to go there, but I just want to point out one of the closest battles has been for 2nd for Maljo and Iso. In fact, let's go there now. Iso making the move on Maljo. Ooh. We have a new driver in 2nd. Maljo looks like he just overdrove it, took it in too deep, or either surrendered it. I'm not sure one or the other. Boy, he really missed that badly. Sean, what do you think? Watch this.
Well, Soup,
it's a mistake or a surrender?
I think it was a mistake, Soup. Yeah, he just got her in too deep there. And Iser just takes big advantage of it.
That's like
but now Maljo just got it back, though.
He did.
We're doing the replay. Maljo gets the spot back.
Eisler was a little less cooperative on his pass. Maljo just took it in deep and gets that spot. So I was just about to say, one of the most interesting battles was the battle for 2nd. They were just racing in order. As soon as I mentioned that, they swapped position twice.
And Perez continues to pull away, closing in on almost 5 seconds now, the gap. Pit window going to be open here probably within about the next 10 minutes.
Going to drop you back to 9th now again. This is Rhodes, who's been under pressure from Pittenger. Here he comes, and LeBlanc. Rhodes really working both sides of the road like a jaywalking mailman. Took it in on the left side, swung back out to the right to get a good angle in. Now out of 10. Watch a pass here. Let's see what kind of drive. Oh, LeBlanc gets loose. He's not going to have a run. He almost goes into the wall. He's going to lose the spot to Colomb.
That was a great save by James LeBlanc, Sue. He almost binned it right there. That'd have been really, really bad just past the pit exit. He'd had to tow all the way around if he'd crunched that front end in. He's back on it now, though, here chasing Colomb.
His nickname is LB, and he almost pounded it into the wall, but he did a good job of keeping it off. All that going on, Rhodes able to still fend off Pittenger for 9th. Riding on board with Pittenger, looking up at Chris Rode. Yeah, he's gonna look in there, not gonna happen.
You can see in that monitor, there's a little bit of contact between the two there. LeBlanc and Richard Colomb.
Colomb in that yellow car coming at you, the yellow and black machine. And here's the move up front. And Pittenger gets it. He's going to be able to hold it. He does. Rhodes drops back to 10th. By the way, it's road without an S, Soup. Now, if we jump up to 4th, this is Duval trying to hold off Landini. Sean, little battles going on all around the track now that things have settled down.
I'm scanning several. I know it's just been really, really intense since the drop of the green flag. Landini really get a chance here to get a move on. Duval's around. Oh,
That's why we have to cover him, buddy.
Robinal Landini just missed. Oh man, Duval just now gets the car going again.
Totally mixed the apex, and then I guess wanted to get back on the throttle, and the rear end got loose.
That's going to get it. Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah. Wanted to make up for that mistake, and boy, the car just happens to...
He got just a smidge of that turf right there, I think, and when he got back to the power, he spun the tires. Yeah. Tough break there for Duval, but he's clean. The car is good. Tyler Gore coming in, Soup. This is a scheduled pit stop, I'm going to think here.
Coming in from 16th spot. Really,
I'm going to imagine this is going to be fuel only here, Soup. Oh, Eisler and Maljo back at it again here, Soup.
Yeah, these guys have given up any hope of running down Perez for the lead right now. They're just fighting for best in class. And
fuel only stop there for Tyler Gore, Soup.
Yeah, with a 45-minute race, that's probably the way these guys are going to do it. Just come in, take what they need. Maljo in the blue and black car up front, the number 713. Eisler, he's won the first 2 races this season. And my rods and cones, I get a little bit of correction from the director that it's purple and black for Maljo.
Boy, Chris Rode back here really pressing on LeBlanc right now. Mark File up here looks to be having a little bit of a connection issue. Hope that's not the case.
So let me take a second here and try to set the stage for you. Let's look at our leader, Benjamin Perez. Sean, interrupt me if something happens. I doubt I'm going to get much in here. Perez, 7 seconds ahead. Then we go back to second position. Here we have a battle. We've been watching it. This is between Maljo and Eisler. They battle for second. Then it's another 10 seconds back. But we do get to another battle. This is Landini and Robinal going for a battle for 4th position. From there, it's another 9 seconds back to Duval, which is pulled away now from Frawley. Matthew Frawley in 7th. Boy, we really haven't talked much about him. He's managed to avoid all the nonsense going out there. 8th position is Richie Pittenger. He's got around James LeBlanc. We saw LeBlanc put the car in the wall a minute, and now Chris Rhodes is back to 10th. So there's your top 10. Road 47 seconds behind the leader.
Well, Soup, all you missed was Hugo Gup. Oh, Rob. Okay, I did miss that. Robinal just got by Landini right now. Yep. Oh, we got a car around here, top of the hill. Sean Kenning. He's got big damage too, Soup.
Right in front of Kelly Thornton. Thornton's car already has no hood on it.
Yeah, Kenning had already had damage coming up the hill there, so.
2 hoodless cars. That was Kenny had that issue, and then the other car without a hood is Kelly Thornton, another car out there without a hood on his. Looking at, we ride on board with Kelly Thornton. You'll see the car spin in front of him. Kelly gets off the gas a little bit, gets out of the way. Thornton in 19th right now.
think it's safe to say the pit window is open here, Soup, and as cars come around here, making their way around, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few duck off right here at the end of this lap.
And as we were talking about Kelly Thornton, Kelly just spun the car again. He's now taking a trip through the Texas countryside, finds his way back out onto the track. We don't need to replay that one. It was a typical spin. None of this is going on for Benjamin Perez. He has no clue about what's going on behind him. He's just having a nice Tuesday afternoon drive under a tall Texas sun. It is Benjamin Perez looking to pick up his first win of the season. Now here's this one between Pittenger and LeBlanc. Boy, James does not give up. We saw James almost put the nose into the wall earlier. He's back. He's got the run. Going into 12. Let's see if he pushes the issue under braking. Locking it up a bit was Pittenger. Sean, what color is LeBlanc? Let me take a guess at it. Come on, fans. They love it when I do that. I'm going to say blue. That car's got to be blue.
Ding, 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 ding. Blue.
All right.
And the color is blue.
My 6-year-old niece is going to be so proud of her Uncle Soup. He knows his colors. LeBlanc doing a good job trying to get that position.
Richard Colomb still doing a good job of keeping Lobato away. Lobato's digging, but just not enough here.
These two drivers a minute behind the leader. We know Colomb from the Absolute Beginner League. He races over there. We've seen him race the Skippy a lot. Nice to see him in a fendered car. Moses Lobato chasing him down, currently in 14th.
Yeah, Lobato has a scary moment there out of turn 20, Sue.
Loses. Yep.
This track has taken its toll on these drivers tonight. As I scan around, look at all the cars left on track, you're hard-pressed to find one that doesn't have a little nick on it somewhere.
Oh, let's go up to Perez right now, because now he has something else to worry about as he works around one-lap car of Gallia's. Now he's going to be coming up on Sean Kenning. Kenning, one of the ones that has the engine that doesn't have to worry about overheating, as it has no hood on it. Perez with an 8-second lead, Sean. He can afford to take his time here. Kenning knows what's going on. He pulls over.
Yeah, Perez just needs to stay focused right now. He can back off the throttle if he wants. Really, it's clean track in front of him here for a little bit. The field is really spread out here, Soup. They're all over the place.
19 cars on the lead lap.
I'm still watching Pittenger and LeBlanc, and Pittenger just makes a mistake in turn 15, almost gives up the position there to LeBlanc, but LeBlanc not able to take advantage of it there. I keep saying Pittenger. Pittenger, it's Pittenger. I'll get that right. Oh, and Pittenger just slides it coming through 20. Oh, and he's going to lose several spots here.
We'll look at this one more time.
That's a tough break there for Richie. Just going to get there a little hot, Sue. A little bit of a lockup here.
There's been a lot of cars having problems. And the pendulum finds its way to Pittenger as he now spins as well. He falls back into 11th position. Another spot for Rose. Chris Rose, one more time, vultures a spot, moves up into 10th. Let's go ahead and look at the driver in 15th right now. According to my time in the scoring, nope, I'm wrong. I thought he was the leader of all the cars who have pitted. That's not correct. Let's look at him anyway. We haven't talked much about him. But let's go ahead and look at Carini.
Yeah, Carini was in just about 3.5 laps ago, Sue. And he is the one we should be watching right now.
Racing in 13th, still on the lead lap.
Yeah, 1 minute and 10 seconds behind the leader.
Now we have a front runner coming in, and it is Juan Landini. Pits from 5th position. Does he have to worry about Carini? Probably not. Carini just working his way through the technical section of the track right now. This should be pretty fast for Landini. Kenning making his stop is out, but he's behind Landini in there. These stops have been about, a good stop is about 10 seconds. Landini's was 13.4. So a little bit longer, but not as horrible as some of that we've seen. Landini cycles out. Right next, that is LeBlanc. Those cars fight for 7th, but of course, James still needs to come in and take his stop.
I'm watching our leader right now, Sue. He's coming up on Richard Colomb. Benjamin Perez still looking for that first pit stop. Colomb going to get out of the way, slow down. Perez going to get by clean. Heading through the arena section here and making his way here to the last couple of turns. Is he going to forego turn 20 and come into the pits? Let's see. No, Perez is going to storm on.
The good news for Perez, even though he's coming up on lapped cars, none of them have been in a battle really so far. They've all been single cars. Now this is interesting, this battle for 7th position. This has got to be frustrating for Landini. If only he would have come out just a few tenths of a second faster, he'd be in front of LeBlanc right now. LeBlanc is not letting him get around. And, oh my goodness, LeBlanc left the inside door open. And Landini stepped through, but actually went all the way through the house and out the back door, and now he finds himself in the backyard. He's going to have to do it one more time.
Headlights are being flashed here, Sue. Someone's not happy.
Well, you have to remember, though, LeBlanc, even though it doesn't look like he's fighting with somebody, he might be in a battle with maybe Carini across the other side of the track. He's still racing a good time. And Landini is getting crushed right now. He is trying everything.
Oh, boy.
And
Landini,
now the pass is made.
Yeah, Landini gets him in turn 20, but almost loses the car, and now he's going to fight back. LeBlanc going to fight it back here up into 1.
Oh, that's a nice slide job there. Landini out in front.
Almost like Landini brake checked him a little bit there, coming off the top of that hill.
Now, this is a legitimate fight for a position, even though LeBlanc still needs to make that pit stop. And I can report now that after Landini's, we look at this here. And Sean, you saw this one. Landini slow to get going. Almost like one of those motorcycle block passes ever. I'm here. Let me get going, and then you can get it. So, LeBlanc now falls back into 8th position. Landini is the leader of all the cars who pitted.
Battle on the backstretch here at the back of the field. McManus, Kenning. Kenning on the inside, going to run it out wide. Oh, McManus is going to have to give. Let him get by. Pulls off the move in 12.
Those cars are 1 lap down. Racing just outside the points. I think the points pay down to 25th, if I remember right. So maybe they're looking for a few points.
McManus is just melting the tires off of his Ferrari right now. You still got 16 minutes to go, buddy.
Yeah, let's go up to second now. These guys have Eisler has got back in on the back of Maljo, and now they have Tyler Gore, the lap car in front of her. Tyler does a good job of running off wide, not going to be an issue. Remember, Maljo and Eisler both need to stop for a pit for fuel. Let's stay on this a minute. They're going to come out of 20. This is the final corner. They'll be heading down towards pit entrance.
And our friend James LeBlanc finally gives up the ghost there, Soup. He's in. So's Chris Rode. Rode is pulling in now.
Looking at
the box.
Looking at Eisler and Maljo there. They work through the technical section now, through 13. Now the left-hander of 15. Into the carousel. Now, if I'm Eisler, maybe I pit early here. If I think maybe I'm faster than Maljo, we'll see how this plays out.
Perez just comes down, pulls in. Looks like Maljo and Eisler are going to stay. No, Eisler comes in.
There you go. Boy, Eisler does a good job of really negotiating that pit entry. Really hits it perfect. Now he's on his pit limiter.
Well, that's going to get Maljo in the lead. Question is, can he get a good, clean, fast lap in here?
Perez just finally getting into the box right now, as I mentioned that. And Eisler right behind him. You can see the two drivers. Perez should be first out easily. There he goes. There's going to be clear traffic for Perez as he comes out on track. Eisler needs the same. Eisler starts rolling. Galles goes by. Sean, pretty good stop for Eisler.
Yeah, 9.8 seconds in the box there. He definitely short-fueled it. Fraley is in, so Matthew Fraley on the pit lane. Still keeping an eye on Sergio Maljo. Finds himself on the long backstretch now.
Pit lane filling up as we look at Maljo, our leader. He's not going to be able to get Perez. His worry is if he can get out in front of Eisler. Eisler stopped really fast. Fourth fastest stop of anybody today.
Man, it's so tough for those turns right there. That basically 14, 15, 16.
Now, if you're new to sim racing or just auto racing in general, you might be saying, well, Maljo went farther, so he needs less fuel. That's really not the case. They all start with the same amount of fuel. They all need to take the same amount of fuel as Maljo comes in. It's whether you take it when your tank is completely empty or almost completely empty. Boy, Maljo locks him up so he doesn't get a speeding penalty.
Yep, and Perez just now getting around the amphitheater. He's in turn 19. Taking the fast trip to 20 here.
Eisler is out of the carousel. He's through 19. He's heading towards 20 as well.
And Perez is going to go back to the lead of this race.
Eisler now full throttle. Maljo is rolling. Maljo was a little slower. Here comes Eisler. Eisler doesn't get there in time. Perez first, or Maljo first to the corner. They come out in the same order they go in.
What a stop there for Maljo. A second slower in the box, but he was at the end of the lane there, Sue.
Yep.
And he was able to get out a little bit quicker, get that acceleration down and get to the top and, you know, hold it in front of Eisler there. Eisler going to have to put in some really hard work here over the next 11 minutes.
Well, it's not always about the pit stop. It could have been about the laps that Maljo was having when Eisler was out there having, when they were separated, who was running the fastest laps. They all come out the same order again, so Eisler's have his works cut out for him. Everybody has made their stops now. Let's see how fourth position is playing out. Robin all by himself. We'll scroll through and look for a battle. There's Robinall, fifth position. Kenny Duval, he's all by himself. About 6 seconds to Robinall. And about 4 seconds back to Landini. Landini in sixth. We're really not going to find a fight until we go all the way back to what our director has found, 14th position there that we're looking at.
Lobato and DuPont. It's definitely it's a legitimate battle, Soup. They have both had their pit stops. And Lobato doing a good job of holding off DuPont for now, but DuPont looking to make a move here. We saw DuPont pit a long time ago, Soup. He's been out here for 14.5 laps right now, putting in this recovery drive. You got to begin to wonder, is he safe to the end?
Started in 8th. Oh my, I think he's going to be in trouble right now. Here's Lobato, DuPont in the McDonald's car. I think he's going to get this spot. They are Cialis bathtubs down into 12. On the inside, it is Lobato. DuPont. They stay side by side. The momentum goes to DuPont, and now he'll have the preferred position. I think the McDonald's car should be able to lock this spot down, and he does.
Hey, he drove through, got his milkshake, and is on the way, buddy.
Woo-hoo. DuPont up into the Baker's Dozen spot, 14th for Lobato.
Duval in the pits. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, and it was
a second stop.
And it was a long one too, for about almost 20 seconds. So something going on with him. So we look at him. Let's go ahead and check in on second position. This is our best battle up front. It's the same order that they've been running. Maujo and Eisler. Eisler from Chile. Maujo, we're going to guess, although I do have the information somewhere. If I have time, I'll check it. I'm going to guess from Portugal. Now they're coming up behind Francisco Montini. Just under 8 minutes of racing to go.
Yeah, Duval and Duchesne still have a pretty good battle going, Soup. Right now, Duval seems to have it figured out, but, you know, we're in the closing laps of this race. Anything could happen. It's a Ferrari and a Ford GT, one of the few Ford GTs, but, you know, Danny has done a good job of picking up those 5 spots, getting us into the top 10. That is the only Ford left in the race. See, Matthew Sista was out early in his. Duchesne having to be real careful here. Gary Schilling. Oh, and he gets by him close. That's going to hurt his fight there against Duval, though he had to change his racing line.
Just under 7 minutes to go. We continue to look at Duchesne, racing in 9th. Been watching this battle up front. Maujo starting to fall back into the clutches of Eisler. Oh, Maujo locks him up, going into 12.
Bad time to make a mistake.
They got Montini up ahead, but they're not there yet. Montini doing a good job to stay down in front of these guys. Now Eisler is right on the tail end of Maujo.
The Iceman cometh? Does that work?
That works.
Yes, no?
I like it, Sean. Welcome to the series.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maujo makes one more mistake, Ice is going to eat him up.
All right, I think he's got a chance at him right here. This is on the main straight now. Oh, he's about 6 car lengths back. It's a long straight, but not that long. Eisler not able to force the issue this time into one. Again, they're coming up. Boy.
Oh, he got a really nice run off the top of the hill there, Sue. Kept it nice and tidy on the inside there, and he gets great momentum off the top.
Through this technical section, boy, he really closes up here. Nowhere to make a pass through here, though. Montini, who's just ahead of these guys, felt the pressure. And while we don't recommend it at the Back Marker United meeting, that is one way to get out of the way as he spins the car off into the wall. I have been there for that issue. Okay, now, this is 11. Watch this here. What kind of drive can the Iceman get? Heading to 12. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, it wasn't his best effort. I got to be honest with you. Out of the hairpin there, he would have liked to have been a little bit closer. Another car getting out of the way. Thank you, Mr. Vargas.
Lucio doing a good job. You know, Sean, I think Eisler is quicker during these technical sections. Yeah, but he's really going to have to force it. He was really good through the S's, and he's really good through this section. The problem he has is on corner exit out of the big corners like 11 and 20 where he doesn't get much drive.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have 2 laps to go when we come across the line here, Sue. It's gonna be for all the marbles here. Eisler needs to get right up under him here. Get a great run off of 20. He should be in good shape.
He's got a good. He will not have to check up here. He gets a good. Oh, he hits the apex nicely. I like this one.
That was just effortless. So smooth through 20 there, Sue.
Might not have been close enough getting in there, but it was a good drive out of here.
Here we go.
Oh, Maljo really wide through 1. Leaves the door open, but Eisler was too far back. Now they twist through here. This is where Christian has been good all race long. You can see him close up. We'll stay on this battle for a while because this is the one up front that is the most important. Your point leader trying to get around Sergio Maljo, trying to close the gap to his main competition in the points. That is Benjamin Perez. All right, Sean, here we are in 11.
All right. Big run here.
I think he's really going to have to force the issue. Tyler Gore up ahead in 17th. Eisler's car is fast, but it just is not really that great down the straight. Again, locking it up is Maljo.
Got a whole litany of ice puns coming through on the YouTube chat, Sue.
He is back there working it. This is some good racing. Now through the carousel.
And Soup, this is going to be the white flag when they come by.
This is it.
Yep.
In fact, Perez has just seen the white flag as he crosses the start-finish line right now. This is a very important corner. This will be Eisler's last chance down into corner number 1. Tyler Gore gets out of the way. He does not want to play an issue. Eisler looks too far back. Again, corner 20 seems to be the Iceman's Achilles heel. Oh, locking it up one more time as Maljo, but really going in deep as Eisler. He cannot take advantage of it.
He was trying to take a big bite out of that apple there, and it just, boy, it ate him up.
Corner 12 will probably be his best chance now. Eisler good through sections 3, 4, 5, 6 through this corner, through the S's. Boy, but I think he might be too far back. Got to give Sergio Maljo some credit here. A nice race from him, under pressure the entire time. Our leader is out of 11 now, heading down the back straight.
leader, Benjamin Perez, has been in that spot since this race started. Gave it up for one lap while he had to pit. Oh, man. The Eisler makes a big mistake there, Soup. He gets over the sausage bomb there in the curb. Car was up on two wheels. He loses significant time there.
I just don't see another battle. Let's give a little love to Benjamin Perez. This has been a very messy race. Remember that Apex Button Boxes has given away a free 16-button custom-made box to the cleanest driver.
Can I win that?
Let me correct myself. That's the transport company. That's $75 for the Clean Driver Award. That's how that one works. Button box goes to the champion. Well, right now, Perez going to really do well on that Clean Driver Award as he comes out of 20. Give round number 3 to Benjamin Perez.
Maljo going to get through 20 here first. Eisler still in his mirror. Maljo going to go ahead and come home second. Eisler is going to complete the podium suit.
Looking for a battle. I think they're all going to cross single file from here. Nobody looks to be very close. Let's go to 10th, Runez. Give the last lap.
Oh, Landini spins it coming out of 19. Landini's trying to complete his run.
Yeah, I don't think he has a 30-second gap on Frawley, so I think Landini is going to come across in 5th. Frawley gets 6th. The one battle that is relatively close, 10th position, Pittiger and Mark File. Don't think that they're actually going to get there. That gap about 1.3 seconds between Pittiger and File. As they work their way over. We'll follow these guys and we'll go to break. In fact, File has a really bad exit going into the carousel. So Pittiger, we're going to assume, comes a chrome in 9th. File is going to get 10th. What we'll do right now on the Global SimRacing Channel is take a short break, but don't go far. We'll be back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few.
The audience wants to see more of you. They want to see your logo personified, see behind the curtain, see who actually makes up the company, not just another machine that's spitting out content like a machine.
I'm a pretty lucky dad right here.
One of the main surprises to me is how in-depth you guys wanted to go to build a website based off of who we are. So I was extremely impressed with that.
Sanctioned by the Precision Racing League, welcome back to GSRC's coverage of the American iRacing Tuesday Series. This is round number 4 from the Studio Road, round number 4. And let's go ahead and run down the finishing order for you. Well, it was wire to wire. Benjamin Perez comes home 12 seconds ahead of Sergio Malgio. Now, Malgio and the Iceman, Christian Eisler, really put on a good show as they swapped positions a few times. They came into the pit stops racing 2-3. They came out in 2-3, and that's the order they finish in. The top 5 is rounded up Alvaro Rabanal and Juan Landini. The back half of your top 10, Matthew Frawley, John Carini, Kenny Duval, Danny Duchesne, James LeBlanc, and Richie. Well, then we get down to you, Sean.
Yes, and that is going to be Richie Pittenger there in 11th. Mark File will finish 12th. Moises Lobato will finish 13th today. 14th going to go to Eric Luke. Chris Rode, 15th. Guillaume Dupont will finish 16th. 17th, Tyler Gore. Francisco Montini will finish 18th today. 19th going to go to Richard Colomb. Sean Kenning going to round out the top 20. Soup, I'll take the rest real quick.
Thanks.
Gary Schilling, 21st. 22nd, Kelly Thornton. Lucio Vargas will finish 23rd. Ronald McManus, 24th. 25th. Hugo Galaz. Matthew Cisna with trouble early finishes 26th. And Carlos Gabato, also having trouble early, does not finish this race, only 2 laps.
I've got a hold of our race winner, Benjamin Perez, wire to wire. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
You have no idea of the chaos that was going on behind you. You just had a nice Tuesday afternoon drive.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I had no idea that there was a lot of chaos. I thought it was fairly clean, at least for me it was.
Yeah, it was. Early on, you had Malgio and Eisler behind you, but you were able to distance themselves. Any trouble with lap traffic?
Not really. Lap traffic in this league seems to be very, very courteous and just kind of getting out of the way and lifting on the straights and whatnot. I did have a little bit of a close call, I think, with Kelly Thornton around turn 1. It was really close, but pulled it through. And aside from that, it was pretty quiet.
So you come in for your pit stop. You know you are comfortably ahead. You didn't want to make any speeding penalty mistake or anything like that. So what do you do on fuel? Do you put in a little bit more since you know it's not such a tight issue?
So, yeah, I think I overfueled it by a bit. Actually, I still have my fuel calculator up. I had about 4 liters extra. So I did fuel it a little bit extra. I know I had like a 10-second gap, I think, on the pit stop. So
yeah.
I just played it safe. I wasn't going to make the same mistake as last week.
Yeah, you had to work really hard to get second place last time. Well, it all worked out well for you today. Where are we going next time? Let's see. Oh, we're going to Brands Hatch. We're crossing the pond. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm excited. Now that is a track I do enjoy a lot.
Passing going to be a little more tricky over there. Well, good luck to you. We can't wait to see it. That'll be next week. See you down the road.
Thanks, guys.
There is your race winner as he continues to close in on his championship now as he gets a little bit closer to the Iceman. Sean, who do you want to talk to?
Well, Soup, let's see. We've got Chris Rode. We'll go ahead and talk to him here real quick. Chris, this is Sean. How you doing, buddy? That was a bit of a slog out there, but you did pick up 6 spots and finish 15th. Tell us about your experience here at Circuit of the Americas.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. It was interesting. This is my first time in this league, so the learning curve is quite steep. And when you got guys like Perez and Sergio putting the lap times down that they're putting down, it's really difficult. So being the first time, my goal really is to just kind of stay out of everybody's way, try to get personal best, and just learn from the experience, and then come swinging next season.
Well, hey, Chris, you know what? I'd say mission accomplished. You did finish on the lead lap, and that in itself an accomplishment here at COTA, a track that is notorious for just eating up drivers. And, well, you hung on. Talk about the carnage of the first lap, though, and getting to the top of the hill. What was that like for you?
From my perspective, the light went green. I moved to the right slightly and just hit the gas, and it felt like I was just passing everybody like they were standing still. Granted, they caught up with me towards the end of the race, but if there was carnage, I really didn't pay attention to it. I was just kind of tunnel visioned. You could probably shed more light on that incident than I did.
Chris is super. Tell us a little bit about Studio Road.
So we're a marketing agency based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, specializing in the automotive market, primarily digital platforms, websites, video, content creation, that type of thing. Some of the viewers may have saw the commercial throughout the broadcast. That's a small smidgen of what we typically do.
Yeah, both everybody here at GSRC said that is one slick video.
I appreciate it.
Soup, Knoxville, Tennessee. You know where that? You know what's there in Knoxville, buddy?
A lot of orange, I can tell you that.
Yes, go Vols. That's right.
Well, for what it's worth, for better or worse, I'm actually a Gamecocks fan, so take that.
Oh, you're in enemy territory.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, it was a great race. We're happy to have you in the series and happy to have you on board as a sponsor, indeed. And boy, we look forward to seeing you here at Brands Hatch next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you guys jumping in and putting all this together, Jerome, Danny, those guys, and just kind of everybody. So I appreciate it.
All right, Soup, and that was Chris Rode, who does pull off, like I said, a pretty good run here for him, first time out, and gets that car on the lead lap. And now you've caught up with. Let's see, who are you going to talk to? You're going to talk to Matt Fraley, I think.
I'll talk to him. Let's bring him in here. Matt, congratulations. How'd it go for you?
Not too bad. This is a tough track to really be consistent and fast at here. And I was just looking, it looks like I got a little incident there with Juan Carini, I think, and had some damage there, had to battle through. But I'm happy with the results for as much little as practice time as I had here.
Well, Matt, if you only had yourself one incident, then consider yourself lucky, because it was a tough race out there. There was a lot of cars spinning off. Was this a matter of not a lot of practice time at Road America? I'm sorry, at COTA?
Yeah, I'm limited on practice time this season. I got a 7-year-old that's getting into motorcycle road racing, so we're getting him dialed in, and his race is in 2 weeks, so I've been spending a lot of time on there and hadn't had time to practice on my own here. But we're doing what we can. I run with a good group of guys, and I was missing out not running, so I had to get back in here with them.
You're a former motorcycle racer yourself, correct?
Correct.
What's first to go of a motorcycle? What part of the body goes first?
It's different per rider, but a lot of guys get what they call arm pump, and then you get cramps in your hands, and it's hard to use your controls, throttle, brake, clutch, and you lose feeling on how hard you're grasping the brake lever and stuff. It can be a little interesting there trying to break into a turn.
Got it. So let's follow up. It's your little girl or little boy that's starting off racing?
Little boy, little 7-year-old boy named Ian.
All right. Well, good luck to Ian, and good luck to you the rest of the season. And a nice picked up 3 spots, 9th to 6th. So good job for you.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank the guys running the league. You guys do a fantastic job. All the guys that help me do setups and we run together in practice. I want to thank all those, and Chasky Enterprise and everybody that's helped me out here getting into iRacing. I really enjoy it. Thanks, you guys.
Good job. Matthew Frawley, your 6th place finish today. Okay, that is going to do it for us here at the Global SimRacing Channel. But stick around for a minute, because we have some important people to thank, and these are the people that make this thing possible. First of all, let's thank everybody at Precision Racing League for organizing the American iRacing Tuesday Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. And then, of course, the sponsors for this race. Transto Transport and Logistics. They're a professional transport service on a flatbed type trailer with loading ramp decks lengths of 40 feet and 20,000 pounds of capacity, okay? And they're also responsible for that $75 Transto Cup for the cleanest driver. Apex button boxes, affordable, reliable button boxes for those who don't have the time or material to make them on their own. Thanks to companies, and then of course also to Studio Road that we heard about, and to all the companies and equipment and software that you see on the screen right now. The iconic music that lets your ears alert your eyes. You're watching a GSRC production is courtesy of Eric Echolm and Casey Lawn. See the screen for how to contact each of them. Sean?
And Soup, the American iRacing Tuesday Series returns next week, April the 10th, for round 4 from Brands Hatch. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action, and we hope you join us. And sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts we've got coming at you, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar if you'd like more information about GSRC, including A complete list of future broadcasts you can find it at our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel. Just type that in. You'll find us there. We're also on the Instagram. Yes, that's GSRC_gram. And while you're here, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe by simply hitting that red button that says subscribe. And you'll join us here on this YouTube channel and be able to keep up with us every day. Soup, take it away.
And finally, a self-serving shout-out to the local Taco Bell here in Lakewood on the corner of Delamo and Woodruff. For the first time ever, my food actually looked like what it does on the menu. That was something else. Guys, thank you very much. So for everybody here at GSRC, I'd like to thank you all for watching. With that said, we're off to have some fun storming the castle. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.